coming out. B-Town bigger. Back on the check-in, on the turn-up, on the pop-up. Fuck.
Yeah, you need to check in, bro. You better tap in before you touch down here in Boston, bro. Boston, we need that paperwork ASAP. Pooh Sims just hit my line, bro. We need that paperwork ASAP. We're not playing no games, bro. Don't come out here, bro, unless you got that paperwork.
The music industry has been becoming hotter. Additionally, internet energy is electric. New allegations, videos, and speculations about what goes on behind the scenes keep popping up everywhere you browse, particularly if certain well-known figures return to the spotlight. At the moment, Max B's name is constantly coming up in talks, with reports appearing more quickly than anyone can attempt to verify. The anticipation is almost tangible, as if everyone in the community is waiting for the next spark to ignite a larger story. Fans are analyzing every action, every post, and every hint given by insiders. To be honest, when you initially surfaced, many immediately began to compare you to Max B and wondered if you would take his position. And you continue to feel that pressure. In one interview footage, a person is even seen thinking, "You had to deal with that coming up, right?" And the answer was truthful. "I still occasionally deal with it. Do you understand what I mean? Is a gifted man, but I had previously performed music. Occasionally. I kept being locked up while my man Ash was away." This background gives a story a more personal feel by showcasing the hard work that goes into making headlines. Then you have Zeke returning home and making connections with others who have been working nonstop. He remarked, "You know, we got that little singing melody thing." He was merely experimenting. He wasn't pretending to be a vocalist. The narrative then takes a turn for the worst. One of the more prominent allegations circulating is that French Montana and Max B were ejected from their seats during a Madison Square Garden Knicks game. Online users claim that it was a seating error, but naturally, the internet quickly transformed it into a major drama. It's all just rumors magnified by conjecture until official information is released. The story is further complicated by Max BS's own remarks. "I have a small melody going on. Let's perform some music. I got a bargain from them. Give me a nice check. Get compensated." Here, context is important. The thrill of returning to music and earning a real salary becomes significant after years of incarceration and cycles of freedom and confinement. "I grew weary of being imprisoned. Do you understand what I mean?" He acknowledged that the whispers and public speculation feel real, accessible, and grounded because of personal insight. Then, at about the same time, things begin to get odd.
And Joel was like, "You and Max should do a duo, like a duet." You know what I mean? And that's how me and Max got cool. When we did the Henny song, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, so y'all had a chance to work together. People don't talk about the positives. They just try to harp on the negative shit.
Yeah, the negative sides, man.
Right.
We did the Henny record. Max did the hook. We planned on doing some other music, but you know, niggas fell out.
Right.
He had his issues with Jim or whatever.
Right.
And then, you know, that's like kind of home team. Not kind of, it is home team, so once you fall.
When Max got home, Zeke and he spent the remaining 7:30 in the studio applying white. Before a haphazard video appeared, everything appeared to be normal. A man was cautioning Max B about entering Boston without proper documentation. Online communities abruptly began calling Max a Boston goon, despite the fact that no one is aware of his true identity. And that's where the internet's anarchy is. Individuals will take one clip,
you know, just clearing the air, you know, for fans that's older fans and know all of us and know a little bit of history about what used to go on in the past, which I don't really bring up. Even like when I did the interview with Max, I'm not going to bring up no old problems he had. I'm not saying anything to get him in any new problems. I'm not doing anything to get him back sent to the penitentiary or jail or whatever the case may be, because some people like, Cam, you ain't asked this, and Cam, you ain't asked that. I mean, he was home 3-4 days and did an interview with me to where...
Whether it makes sense or not, take a single moment and turn it into a whole story. Because it is expected that someone will at least identify someone who speaks like they are in charge of a city. However, no one does in this instance. This gives the entire environment an unfamiliar, almost weird vibe. Fans are left to put together rumors, footage, and half-truths that might or might not be related. And that tension is precisely what keeps the discussion going. accelerating with every hour that goes by and keeping everyone curious about what actually went on behind the scenes with Max B and his team. It seems like someone else is recording nasty words just to create tension right now. Clips are all over social media. However, the Mystery Act isn't exactly delivering what he believes it is, so if anyone truly knows who this person is, now is the moment to explain. The ongoing talk that keeps the story alive is fueled by the energy on the internet, which is half confusion and half hype. People scroll, respond, and argue, but the reality behind this number is still unclear, allowing conjecture to get even more out of control. Let's get to the portion that fans genuinely care about, though. There is a noticeable sense of stress as the wait for PD7 continues. The release was originally scheduled for Black Friday. The release date was then rescheduled for Tuesday, and just when everyone believed the countdown was set, it was rescheduled once more. Every announcement just serves to increase the level of suspense, excitement, and irritation. Everyone is looking for something new to ride to, and Max's new music might drastically alter the vibe, both online and in the streets. Fortunately, at least one factor is maintaining the momentum. Max B is seen filming a video for track off Coat Wave 3.5 in French Montana. The beat is easily identifiable. The atmosphere is timeless. Additionally, fans were ecstatic to see Max return on television with his trademark assurance. He appears to be really delighted to be outside and back in his environment as he moves, dances, and smiles. It's the fresh chapter that Max fans have been waiting for. But it's not the combative Max of the past. People are welcoming this new aspect of him and are prepared to ride with it. He was not required to do that, despite the fact that some of us grew up with him and are familiar with his past. He continues to do his thing and serves as a constant reminder of why he is an essential part of the game. He is still showing up and doing what he does best, despite past online feuds, parole issues, or potential dangers. For background, Max is allegedly on 5 years of parole, so everything he does is scrutinized. He is managing the company in spite of this, though. Some attempted to rekindle past grudges in the hopes that he would make a mistake and get into problems again, but maintains his concentration, allowing his presence and music to do the talking. Fans are paying attention because it demonstrates development, maturity, and control, while still delivering the enthusiasm they fell in love with. Tension naturally increased because, in Max's opinion, others were adopting a style that he had invented first. You are aware of the complexity of these ties if you are familiar with Harlem circles. These musicians recorded in the same studios, Dipset 45th Harlem, ran with the same crews, and grew up on the same blocks, all of which overlapped. Jimmy's close relationship with Cam 2 adds another level of complexity to the problem, because City isn't only connected to Jimmy. However, the energy changed last night. With maturity, Cam informed Sync City that it was time to end the back and forth. All of a sudden, they discovered they had more in common than they had previously believed. It was an obvious message. After years away, Max is just getting used to his new surroundings. Let him concentrate on protecting his belongings, relishing his independence, and avoiding needless drama. In a society where people typically thrive on confrontation, they really resolved that tension live on the air. It was good for the culture to see adult men settle a disagreement like that. No one needs old grudges to resurface right now. Instead of issues that are about to blow up, there are possibilities, maneuvers, and money to be made. Although Max's current energy is focused on peace, thankfulness, and rebuilding, fans are still wanting to see him in war mode. Instead of getting sucked into trivial arguments, he is maintaining a grounded perspective and concentrating on music, legacy, and personal development. It's obvious how it feels. When problems are handled with compassion rather than rash violence, the strategy is effective. Nowadays, it's common to prioritize maturity over drama, and Cam's role as peacemaker encourages this cultural shift. When Cam made subtle jabs during his most recent performance, the situation became even more intriguing. The thumbnail said, "Hi hater," which immediately sparked rumors even though he didn't specifically single anyone out. Everyone associated Mo with that phrase. Some viewers believe Cam was making a reference to the Let's Rap About It podcast group, implying that they joined together only because they didn't like him. Cam went so far as to say that they hardly know one another, underscoring the fact that petty partnerships can arise solely from mutual animosity. The emergence of old articles aroused questions because Cam and Mayo's past appeared neutral for years. The story was further complicated by rumors that Jimmy addressed Mayo on Cam's behalf following an early track reference. Fans were unaware of these earlier occurrences, but the information is now starting to surface again. The intricacy of these connections demonstrates how entwined history, egos, and personalities are in Harlem's music industry. Maino, meanwhile, demonstrates once more that he doesn't back down. Maino didn't take long to retaliate when scholars called the Let's Rap About It crew names and made fun of their fashion sense. He demonstrated why spectators watch him by counting each jab with vigor and assurance. His presence propels the performance, keeping the audience captivated and the space lively. Additionally, Maino's ascent close naturally builds tension in an area where he can construct his lane with style, visuals, and structure. And for that reason, every episode, every hint, and every delicate shot ignites discussions on social media. This is not gangster rhetoric. We're not going out into the streets, but pay close attention. You are subtly causing division when you start discussing young versus old. You either understand it or you don't. Nothing at all. Forget about it. And let's be honest, Tim doesn't shy away from tobacco, podcasts, or anything else when the topic of fashion, style, or what someone is wearing today comes up. Because the world of podcasts is now based on intentional tension, controlled buzz, and continual reactions, listeners have learned how to navigate this battlefield over time. Some of these shows first seemed disorganized. However, the pattern is clearly clear. As long as it stays in the entertainment lane, everyone tosses a little smoke to start a conversation, keep it going, and sustain momentum. Everyone gains from it. When these exchanges extend into real life, issues occur. Consider the story of Jim Jones meeting academics at a young boy performance. Things changed right away. Nobody benefits from bringing street intensity into a commentary setting. However, the online discourse sustains a story. Mo's strategy is unique because of this. He keeps the emphasis on opinion, style, and impact while treating this as jokes and podcast chat. One's pelvic axes are forced. In the 1980s and 1990s, his generation popularized these trends. He makes a very clear point. Understand the platform and show respect for the culture and history. Boundaries are important, but opinions are subjective. Threats are not at issue here. Knowing who you are speaking to and how far the conversation can go is crucial. Maino also makes it clear that he is prepared to retaliate when provoked. He keeps audiences interested, entertains, and claps back, but he never steps over the line into anarchy. The emphasis is still on cultural observation, humor, and commentary. Fans continue to tune in because of this equilibrium. It is controlled, hot, and maintains the ecosystem's vitality without having an adverse effect on the actual world. Academics are aware of the restrictions as well. He has made light of the entire circumstance while acknowledging Mayo's notoriety and the backstory. He made it clear that there would be no hosting events, public stunts, or unexpected appearances if Mo ever wanted to go off camera. Content, opinion, and entertainment remain the main priorities when the line is respected, and it demonstrates why fans are riveted to every piece of footage and response because of this dynamic. He's back inside, staying in the lane, and adhering to the studio in NYC. Even he is aware of the point at which reality becomes too much. The most interesting aspect is how these personalities' energies differ from one another. In a digital castle, academics flourish. It's territory, so feel free to speak. Mo hails from a time when words had significance outside of the microphone. When they are combined, tension can change quickly if someone disregards the space's regulations. However, the humor, arguments, responses, and culture flourish as long as everyone stays in the podcast lane. Instead of conflict, it turns into pure entertainment. The entire atmosphere crumbles once you pull it into the streets. You are reminding folks that this is not street business, but rather podcast energy, which is a wise decision. Keep the debate hot, the humor sharp, and the pressure from the real world out of it. In this manner, the ecosystem remains healthy and everyone benefits. It's getting hotter online, and people's eyes are fixed on every video. The room is quickly illuminated when powerful personalities interact with one another. Fans are anticipating what will happen next, because the conversation is going to change course once Mo answers. The volume of digital streets is increasing daily. Keeping things lighthearted, rather than intensifying, is also the best course of action. The culture always prevails if the energy is maintained in jokes, podcasts, clapbacks, and entertainment. When the storylines are already captivating, there is no necessity for things to go beyond the screen. Fans are kept enthralled by every response, tease, and retort. All eyes are on Mayo right now, and the moment he makes a move, the room could tremble. The digital audience is captivated by the tension, humor, and incisive comments. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying this analysis so you don't miss the next development in these constantly changing plots. Keep an eye out because this ride is far from